St. John chapter 9, verses 1 through 12. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, Neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle. And he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay, and said unto him, Go, wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way therefore and washed, and came seeing. The neighbors therefore, and that which before had seen him, that he was blind, and said, Is not this he that sat and begged? Some said, This is he. The others said, He is like him. But he said, I am he. Therefore said they unto him, How were thine eyes opened? He answered and said, A man that is called Jesus made clay, and anointed my eyes, and said unto me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed, and I received sight. Then they said unto him, Where is he? He said, I know not.
And what's the question?
What does this example of Jesus healing a blind man mean?
This is a parable. A parable is not something that actually happened. The Bible is 75% prophecy, 25% that actually happened. When the blind man came up, Jesus was hearing about the blind man. He was just hearing, because, a good person. And Jesus was curious about, who is he and where is he? And the people was curious to say, well, did he do anything? Did he sin that God will make him blind? He said no. He didn't sin. What Jesus did was, the man said that he was blind in society. But it wasn't a physical blindness. He was blind to the reality of the time. He couldn't see. Jesus put, when you foam up in your mouth, when you're teaching real hard, you get a foam in the corner of your mouth. Jesus took the foam out of his mouth, picked up some dirt, and he put it in his hand and did like this, and made like a mud paste. That's important, because remember, it's a parable. So when Jesus is talking about the spit, it's a lot of energy in spit. It's a lot of vitamins in spit. It's a lot of giving DNA and circumstances of the human being through the spit. But Jesus mixed it and made a mud paste. That's important. Because when sisters are going out and they want to purify or cleanse their body, they say do it with mud. Because mud is a natural cleanser. So Jesus is making a mud paste or a natural cleanser. But the cleanser is Jesus' words. He's cleaning the man up with a reality, because he can't hardly see the reality of what's going on. So Jesus asked them, it was some trees, and he said, well, how do you see that? He said, how do you see men? He said, well, I see men as trees. So once Jesus made the paste, he told him to close his eyes, and he put the paste over top of his eyelids. And as Jesus was teaching him, he said, okay, now open your eyes. Now, how do you see men? He said, I see them as they are. Now remember, blind people can't see. So it's not necessarily talking about a physical blindness. But he said, well, how do you see man now? I see them as they are. So what is he talking about? In this world called life, whether it's a rapper, entertainer, a political figure, or black historians, we see men as trees, meaning that we here, but you see them up there. And when Jesus started teaching him on the reality of himself, he no longer saw men as so big over him that he's little, like he's nobody. Many people, when they go into even the church, say you join a new church, and they got the deacons in there, they got the pastors in there, they got everybody in. So when you go in there, you say, well, where do I fit in at? Because you see all of the big people. Yeah, but Jesus said, don't look at them like that. Look at them the way that you are, because you're important too. So don't look at somebody else and say, well, they're a rapper and they got money. Yeah, but you got money too. It's the knowledge that makes a person rich. It's not the physical thing that makes a person rich. Many people have money. You see people with the lottery and still go crazy. So that don't, you know what I mean, that don't make them rich. But when Jesus is teaching the people, and he said, well, he opened the eyes of the blind, it's the same thing happen here. But it's given a reference to how do we see men? Do we see men and women as trees? And if so, how do you see yourself? So Jesus is explaining to the man once he taught him the reality of himself and who he is. And then he said, well, how do you see him? I see him as they are. Why would he see them as they are now? Because now I see myself as valued. I see something in myself. I no longer have self-esteem and say, well, she cute and I'm not. He handsome, I'm not. He got money, I'm not. So Jesus is teaching them that you more than that. You more than what you think you are. You more than what the name that your mother gave you. You more than just a symbol or a sign saying I'm a Libra, I'm a Aquarius. You more than that. So once Jesus started teaching him on the value and the reality of himself, then not only did he see himself in a different light, but he saw the world in a different light. So they say, well, where is he at? Meaning Jesus. He gone. Yeah, but what about the blind man? Who made the blind man see? We are considered blind, deaf, and dumb. Blind to the reality of God, the devil, who we are. Deaf, meaning that we can no longer hear. We can no longer communicate the value of our heart. Our tongue is tied. Blind, deaf, and dumb. Not dumb in the respect that you don't know anything, but dumb to the reality of God. How many people on this planet say, well, God is this? God is a man, God is a spirit, God is Jesus, God is this, God is that. You go to India and God is a sun, God is a cow. You have many realities in the people's mind of who God is. But it's only one God. Whether you call him whatever, but it's only one. But what is the reality? The reality is based off of the individuals. That's the reality. How would you know what's truth? We are taught that truth, it stands on its own. You don't need to prove truth. If I go outside and I say, man, the sky beautiful out here. It's a bright blue. Yeah, but in reality, is the sky blue? Is the sky blue?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Is the sky blue?
No, sir.
Is the sky blue, sister? See, that's a reflection of the water, right? So with the ether, it's bouncing off one another, right? But for somebody who don't have an understanding, they say, yeah, I went outside. It is blue. See? But that's their reality. That's not the reality, right? Like I said the other day, if your mother taught you 7 and 0 is 7. Your mother told you 6 and 1 is 7. Your mother told you 4 and 3 is 7. Right?
Yes, sir.
Her mother said 5 and 2 is 7. And I'm just sitting back watching. And y'all saying, who's the truth? No. My mother said 5 and 2. And then you arguing, but I'm sitting back saying, man, why are they arguing? They saying the same thing. But they saying, no, you wrong. I know the truth. Because my mother not going to lie to me. Yeah, but what does the Quran say? The Quran says that the revelation that you have, it came from your mother. Yeah, but where did she get it from? She got it from her mother. And where did she get it from? She got it from her mother. Then the Quran and God says that, yeah, but what if your mother lied to you? So that lie has traveled through time. Is that a reality? Could be. It depends on the individual. Yeah, but is it true? That can stand on its own? No. No. So the blind man represents a people that is blind to the knowledge of themselves, blind to the knowledge of everything around them. Everybody with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody have any questions so far? Yes, sir, brother.
So being blind, deaf, and dumb is a spiritual reality more than a physical reality?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. We are considered a blind, deaf, and dumb people in America because of we are the only people on the planet that does not have a connection to our heritage or life. Why am I saying that? Because of slavery, we no longer have the knowledge of our names, our culture, our religion. Everything we know is what they said we are. For example, when we were slaves, they call us what? Niggas, right?
Yes.
Then that nigga turned to Negro.
Yeah.
Then the Negro turned to what?
Color people.
Color people. Then color people turned to what?
Afro-American.
African American. And now, they ought to be like Muhammad said, the so-called Negro. And now there's no telling what people saying now. You see what I mean? So, what'd you say, sis?
Ignorant, dumb.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
No, they're saying Black America. I see.
Oh, okay.
So the reality, but as time go on, somebody can say, well, I ain't no Negro. Yeah, but the only thing you're doing is you'll substitute the name with the time. So is that truth? Is that reality? So the blind, deaf, and dumb is the only way you can see somebody blind, deaf, and dumb is the knowledge of themselves and the knowledge and what's in their heart. Jesus said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the reality is, what do you feel in your heart? When we out in the corner say, how you doing, brother? They say, man, I don't even want to hear all that, man. I'm straight.
Yes,
Yeah, but are you really? Because every time I turn around, the police killing each other. So is they really straight? Did I answer your question, brother?
Yes, sir. Thank
Oh, good, brother. Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
What about you, Mom?
Oh, yeah. We can hear it. Lower the voice.
Huh?
Yeah, lower.
All right, thanks for listening.